Hey, so I'm back. I say go ahead, stop what you're doing, like and subscribe right now, because this don't stop. It keeps going like a clock, tick tock. Meaning, listen, guys, this is just a whole process for me. I'm gonna be doing more and more and more videos, and you don't gotta try to catch me out there. You could just come subscribe and just hit the video whenever I post something that you're interested in. But right now, we're doing Jupiter and Scorpio. And I started with Jupiter and Scorpio because I had this place of myself. Having Jupiter and Scorpio is basically, you're like a Scorpio, or you see the world. You can see the world, or you can approach the world like a Scorpio. Because it's Scorpio energy. And we're talking about Jupiter, so it magnifies that energy. I mean, even more so than an astral Scorpio itself. It magnifies that energy. So, let's talk about what that energy looks like. First of all, we got Jupiter and Scorpio is very business savvy. Depending on if Jupiter is retrograde or direct in your chart will make the difference whether that business savviness is developed earlier on or beneficial earlier on versus later in life. A lot of times, Jupiter retrograde or any retrograde planet, as it unfolds, as you experience, it benefits you later on in life. I happen to have Jupiter and Scorpio retrograde. But a lot of things take place inwardly. And all you need to do is bring it outwardly to benefit off of it in the world. I will get to the retrograde planets, but right now, Jupiter and Scorpio is business savvy, so they look to ways to where they can extract money from others. But not just money for money's sake a lot of the times. It's in a way to where they have to be connected to what it is that they're doing. So it has to be true for them. It has to mean something for them. It has to be something that they believe in. Okay, so Jupiter and Scorpio is definitely an individual that has a cause to fight for, even more so than Jupiter and Libra. Like Jupiter and Scorpio has a cause that they fight for, but it's usually something that's more underneath the surface and that people may not want to display or put out there, but it exists. So Jupiter and Scorpio sometimes can make people feel a little uneasy or rub people the wrong way with the way that their message that they have, that they present, that they broadcast. Because a lot of times, like when you're dealing with rape, sexual abuse, sexuality, occult, magic, the dark side of life, people would rather say that doesn't exist, even though it does. I mean, there is a whole is it called a black web, dark web, whatever, that's out there to where things go down, like people are being murdered or people are witnessing these things take place and pay other people to do it and right in front of their eyes. But because it's so horrifying, it's so scary, and it's so hard to trace, in that the fact that somebody would be into that alone scares a lot of people away. And they want to say, man, if I could just, out of sight, out of mind. They want to be into their little world. Jupiter and Scorpio, because of the fact that they'll say, hey, like, this is a cause to fight for. We have to rescue these people that's in bondage, being trafficked and abused. All these things, we need to speak on it. We need to, like, I want to fight for this. A lot of people, it's hard for them to deal with that. But business savvy, because they're able to extract money out of people. Their Jupiter and Scorpio individuals are highly magnetic, and it's something about them that people just can't quite figure out. They know that it's something powerful about them, their presence, but they can't quite put their finger on it. They're definitely interested in occult knowledge. They like to learn about it, and they like to teach. I feel like this. When you say the word occult, it automatically sends people into this creepy feeling, like witchcraft, voodoo, all of that. Like, I feel like that's aspects of what the occult could be. The occult really is about hidden knowledge. Hidden knowledge could just be anything. Like, for instance, deep sea. If you're an individual that never have went deep sea diving, or if a person or another individual never did, how will we know about what's down there? Coral reefs and other life forms that's under the sea. We wouldn't. So that would, at one time, that was all hidden knowledge. You get what I'm saying? And you're exposing people to what this is, how it really works. Jupiter and Scorpio, they will learn about something, and they will specifically remember the undercurrents of how it works. It's not good enough for them to just go learn about something. They want to go deep into it. They want to know how this works, and they can teach other people about it as well. Like if you have someone with a Jupiter and Scorpio, and they're in school and they're learning about history. It's not going to be enough to say Columbus sailed the ocean blue. It's not enough for them. They got to say, okay, wait, who came before Columbus? Who were these people that Columbus met when he arrived to the Americas? So there was something before Columbus. There was people here before Columbus. How did he discover America? It was already discovered. See what I'm saying? They want to go and they want to break stuff down. The people that rather not see that will be like, why are you doing all that? Why don't we just keep it certain? Why don't we keep it where it is? Columbus is a great man. He discovered America and he made it what it is now. Jupiter and Scorpio is not good with just that. But they're interested in the occult. They may not even tell you for a long while. You may not know. You may not. It's not even about the occult. Like their practices, certain interests, their sexuality. They see it, how they view it, what they do. You may not know that they have these interests, but the interest is definitely there. Okay, they are good with sexuality. They're going to be really free in their sexuality. If they're not free in it, other people's sexuality won't bother them one bit, because they're going to say, okay, that's yours, like that's your thing. They have this ability to just really, like, it's not that they want to participate in, but they are a lot of the times open to. It's kind of like this. Okay, yeah, I can understand a person's position to why they face sexual abuse. Why he or she could be gay or lesbian right now, or that. Like, it's like they'll always have or look to the underlying understanding of why something is, and it really does make them less judgmental. I understand that a lot of times, depending on your sun sign, is how you projecting yourself, but it makes them more understanding in that way. That's the reason why they're able to help other people that face difficult, standing up for the rights of someone's sexuality. You can find a lot of Jupiter and Scorpio women, well, and men, but women that say, you know what, you're not gonna stick things to me just because of my sex. I have a right to be more than just that. That's why they're good at healing deep sexual wounds within themselves and others through sex. Like, their sexual experience with another person could be really profound. Like, heal that person, bring a lot of deep-seated things that the person could have been holding in up to surface, causing a massive transformation for that person. Sometimes even for themselves, if they come around the right person. They definitely look below the surface and under the surface of any and everything. So a highly magnetic personality individual, when they do their Jupiter excursions, like foreign travel, things of that nature, like a lot of things, they'll go for a mission, or they'll go as like top secret, and then people find out about it. Or it could be like that. They like to go and explore wherever they travel to. They like explore it, go to museums, learn about it. And even the things that they teach about, a lot of people could feel it. It's like, okay, that's a taboo subject. Why out of everything? And it's like, because they don't feel good. They don't feel good unless it's something like that. Now, Jupiter in a female chart can also represent their husband, right? So with that being said, a woman with Jupiter and Scorpio, either their husband is going to have some type of predominant Scorpio trait, like the sun, moon, or rising, maybe even Venus or Mars, but it doesn't have to be just that. They'll have these traits. So a woman, her husband can be very secretive, like a secretive person, they don't really want to tell you what's going on with them or their problems necessarily. They want to try to deal with their problems and things as their own. Their husband could be into the occult, either into the occult or has some type of savvy business sense as well. Like they want to own their own business. Even if they don't, they want to. The desire is there. Or they're into the occult, like reading cards, the orishas, or just the spiritual aspect of things. Even though they may not show it to each and every person, you know, they could possibly get a husband like this. They could teeter on the dark side. So they may be into things that are not all the way considered just upright and goody. You know, their husband can have like this streak to them to where they teeter on the dark side, you know, where they have a little, they want to have control, or they might dabble in the drugs, or they may be really highly sexual. And when I say dark side, I'm just kind of meaning taboo, like things that a lot of people don't really talk about or discuss or look at on the surface. You know, when you talk about relationships on the surface, it's, oh, this is my husband, my wife, or my girl, I bring her flowers and we eat dinner at the local restaurants and movies and our kids are great. No, there's things that go on in like under the surface when we're talking about relationships. Okay, and their partner could deal with a lot of that. And their partner could also, they could come across highly jealous husbands as well. Hopefully by the time they reach that Jupiter aspect, they don't let the jealousy get in their way. But the husband could be very jealous and not really wanting other people to be interested in their wife. You know, yeah, you can look but don't touch. It could be, this is the thing. Jealous and obsessive, they could be jealous and obsessive over their wife. Like the woman can have a husband like this to where they're really into their wife. Like a lot of women with Jupiter and Scorpio could have other women jealous of their relationship if it's in a positive note. Because if it's in a negative note, this can denote to like spinning control and obsession, spinning out of control. But usually their husband is going to be like their number one fan, like obsessive over the wife and the wife's behavior and things of that nature. But they're probably also looking for a wife that is comfortable with her sexuality. So a lot of Jupiter and Scorpio women, since they got that magnetic aspect, are sexy or sexually arousing, and that could make people a little bit uncomfortable too. But they're connected to their sexuality, and their husband is going to look for this or need this. Okay, highly passionate. Their husbands are passionate. So either you get a husband that is like I said, really into you with this, or like just have a high sex nature, or they can also have some type of sexual addiction. Okay, because they're highly passionate, and your husband can push you to great heights. Like, no, you know, you can do it. They'll have your back. But it's something about Jupiter and Scorpios. The women, before they get married to their husband, they go through some type of massive transformation process. And it's like it comes along with this position. And their husband could be just like very deep. Is not trying to deal with nothing surface like that. Or if they do, okay, that's out in the surface, out in public. But in the relationship or the marriage, they are very deep. They're very inquisitive. Their husband could be highly intelligent. And yeah. So, I'm going to stop right there. This has been Jupiter and Scorpio and the woman's husband with displacement. I'm going to try to figure out how I'm going to make that into a title. It's Butterfly to Light. I'll be back.